Welcome to Cliffhangers and Page Turners, episode 17.
Hello, everyone.
We've just finished reading Marta Molnar's novel, The Secret Life of Sunflowers, and honestly, we're buzzing.
Oh, absolutely. Me too.
This book is, it's a fascinating journey. It stitches together two compelling timelines, and it really invites us to consider the quiet, yet incredibly fierce strength of women across, well, more than a century.
It really does. And what I found so compelling, is how it goes beyond just a simple historical story. Molnar's crafted something that it promises surprising connections and really profound insights into how legacies are built, not just inherited.
Definitely. So let's dive into that first narrative thread, the one centered on Emsley Wilson and her very modern-day unraveling. Molnar introduces Emsley. She's an auctioneer right at this critical point in her life, doesn't she? Her grandmother, Violet Villar, is gravely ill. And as if that wasn't enough, Emsley's personal and professional worlds are in, absolute turmoil.
Precisely, yeah. Her business partnership, Ludington's, with Trey and Dia, it's just crumbling. It's a mess of betrayal, financial strain. What really struck me here is how Molnar immediately shows us Emsley's core challenges. It's not just money, it's deeply personal, even societal.
And Molnar gives us this perfect gut-punch example of the sexism Emsley faces. Remember Henry Fullerton?
Oh, yeah.
He basically told her she couldn't get a promotion because she was, quote, missing the dangly bits and wasn't someone a CEO would golf with on a Sunday.
Awful.
Just blatant. Yet Emsley, fierce and independent, took that as her cue. Instead of being defeated, she launched her own business. It's an immediate demonstration of her character,
Which ironically is exactly Violet's spirit, isn't it? Even from her sickbed.
Totally.
Violet, the diva, immediately offers to murder that cheating boyfriend of Emsley's. It's such a masterful way Molnar shows us right from the start that feisty, supportive nature running deep in their lineage.
And Violet is just legendary, isn't she? We learned she's the toast of New York, auctioning off an A-list action star's sweat-stained jockstrap for $100 grand.
Incredible detail.
While living life vibrantly in her Monet Prince silk robe. I mean, even with a stroke, her personality just leaps off the page.
It really does.
She's this larger-than-life figure who leaves Emsley with a mysterious blue box and a green diary, hinting at this hidden past.
And through Violet, we get what I think is one of the most profound insights of the book. Molnar weaves it throughout the whole narrative, her philosophy on sunflowers.
Oh, I loved that part.
Right. Violet tells Emsley they're adaptable, scrappy, and that the worse the soil, the bigger they flower. They're scrappy as hell, but they always look like stars. It's not just a charming detail, it's like a redefinition of resilience itself. True strength, Molnar suggests, isn't about avoiding the harsh realities. It's about how brilliantly you choose to flower directly because of those challenges, transforming adversity into something uniquely beautiful.
You succeed by not failing, as Violet famously said.
Exactly.
But then this vibrant life is tragically cut short. Violet passes away, quite suddenly, actually. And the emotional toll on Emsley is just immense.
Yeah, it's brutal.
And it's compounded by the immediate financial burden of stroke care bills and the looming dissolution of Ludington's. It really shows Emsley struggling, doesn't it? Coping with this monumental loss and the overwhelming task of clearing Violet's Greenwich Village brownstone.
And that brownstone, it's such a character in itself, isn't it? Molnar describes it as a magical kingdom.
Yes.
With the mermaid door handle, carved water lilies, and all those rumors of love affairs, fights, scandals, even a stabbing. The house feels like an extension of Violet's flamboyant life, just full of hidden stories.
And it's in this magical kingdom, specifically the basement, where Emsley's journey takes its most, unexpected turns, leading her to these bizarre discoveries that really test her limits.
Oh, the basement find.
She finds a 6-foot-tall taxidermized black bear, who she hilariously names Tiny Tim.
Tiny Tim.
And a large carousel. Her exasperated plea, if you were afraid to go alone, you could have told me you were aiming for a double funeral, just perfectly captures her overwhelmed state. It adds that touch of dark humor that makes Emsley so relatable, so human.
It really does. And it's at this point, when Emsley feels completely adrift, that Molnar introduces an unexpected ally, Bram Decker.
Ah, Bram.
He's the estate attorney's grandson. And he immediately proves to be this invaluable, charming, and, somewhat mysterious help. It's a classic narrative turn, really, giving Emsley the support she desperately needs right then.
And it's not long before Emsley starts going through that mysterious blue box and the green diary Violet left her. And this leads to a truly shocking discovery. The green diary isn't just a diary. It's written by Johanna Bonger, Vincent van Gogh's sister-in-law, and potentially a biography by someone named Clara Baker. This reveals a hidden family connection to the Van Goghs.
It's such an ingenious way for Molnar to connect the past and present, isn't it?
It really is.
And that whole mystery of the ugly baby painting is particularly poignant. Later revealed to be Vincent's stillborn brother. It adds another layer of heartbreaking depth to Johanna's story, but also to the Van Gogh family history that Emsley's suddenly uncovering.
But Emsley isn't just dealing with, ancestral secrets. Molnar ensures she has her own modern-day triumphs, and they really resonate with Violet's spirit.
Yeah, she doesn't get lost in the past.
Exactly. Her bold decision to participate in Strina's sugar art show at MoMA, stepping way out of her comfort zone, feeling fierce and like Excalibur. It really echoes Violet's fighting spirit.
And Strina's art theme, exceptional, admirable women, it becomes like a mirror for Emsley's own emerging identity. It fits perfectly.
It does. And this moment of personal triumph directly precedes her confronting the betrayal from Trey. He attempts to seize Ludington's.
Ugh, Trey.
But Emsley, fueled by her newfound resolve, pulls this brilliant bluff to buy him out. Molnar crafts this scene beautifully, showing how Emsley's inner strength translates into powerful action.
And it works. She unexpectedly secures investors, Bram, his grandfather, Bram Sr., Strina, and even Sergei, his eccentric cousin.
Right, which allows her to negotiate this powerful new path for her company in New York. It really proves her perseverance.
It's a great moment for her.
And amidst all this, Molnar lets her relationship with Bram blossom quite naturally. She dispels her initial, maybe slightly judgy assumptions about him.
Yeah, she wasn't sure about him at first.
No. And it leads to this really sweet, almost magical kiss on the restored carousel in Violet's basement. It's a perfect symbol, finding joy and connection amidst the chaos. Almost as if Violet, through her quirky possessions, kind of orchestrated it.
It feels like that, yeah. And that profound connection to Johanna comes full circle when Strina's translation confirms Clara Baker, the supposed author of the biography, was actually Johanna's niece, which reveals that Violet was Johanna van Gogh-Bonger's great-great-great-grandniece, creating this beautiful, profound lineage of remarkable, strong women. It's a wonderful demonstration of how the past truly informs the present and how our ancestors' hidden lives can be sources of our own strength.
It truly is incredible how Molnar makes the past literally step into the present. And that brings us perfectly to our second powerful narrative, Johanna's historical odyssey.
Yes, Johanna's story.
In the 19th century, Johanna Bonger is introduced as this woman eager to find purpose beyond, the traditional expectations of marriage and domesticity. She desperately wants to leave behind something.
Right. And her family, meanwhile, is trying to marry her off to a widower named Garrett, which completely contrasts with her intellectual pursuits and her deep desire for independence. Molnar masterfully illustrates the constraints placed on women back then, highlighting Johanna's quiet rebellion against them.
Then, Theo van Gogh, Vincent's brother, comes kind of out of nowhere with a sudden proposal. Johanna's initially reluctant, right? She was infatuated with another man, Edward.
She wasn't expecting it at all.
But they marry in Amsterdam and move to Paris. Molnar portrays Johanna's nervousness. Her new role as a wife in a foreign country, navigating her imperfect French, yet demonstrating this incredible quiet strength throughout.
And Molnar really masterfully portrays Theo's unwavering love and patience. It's in his quiet support, his actions. He allows Johanna the space to warm to his touch without pressure. It illustrates a rare, respectful partnership that stands in stark contrast to the norms of the era.
It's a lovely part of their story.
Their relationship is sort of a beacon of steadiness, but then the burdens of genius and grief arrive. Vincent van Gogh comes to live with them in Paris, suffering from his terrible illness.
Right.
And Johanna responds with such deep empathy. She even receives Vincent's famous almond blossoms as a gift for their son, Will. It's a beautiful, poignant detail showing her compassion for him despite everything.
And then the profound tragedy strikes. Vincent's suicide, followed so closely by Theo's descent into grief, and then his own illness, a brain infection which leads to his death.
It's just devastating.
Johanna becomes a widow at just 28 with a baby, Will, and basically without funds. It's an almost unimaginable situation for a woman of that era, left with so little.
But this is where Molnar truly highlights Johanna's indomitable spirit. She makes this resolute decision.
Right.
She won't return home to her parents.
Which must have been the expected thing.
Absolutely. Instead, she chooses to stay in Bussum and run a boarding house, Villa Helma, to support herself and Will. Even though her brother Dries is insisting she come home, this act of defiance is where her fierce determination to champion a legacy truly begins, against all odds.
She believes with all her heart that Vincent's letters will reveal his tenderness and brilliance and rage and despair,
Yeah.
and that his sunflowers are gratitude and his wheat fields are loneliness. It's an immense task, organizing and translating 700 undated letters. This isn't just paperwork. It's a brand new venture for a woman of her time, an undertaking that few would dare to attempt, let alone conceive of.
And she faces incredible societal barriers, which Molnar doesn't shy away from depicting at all. Art critics like Richard Roland Holst dismiss Vincent's work as garish, common, peasant material.
Ugh, it's infuriating.
And they flat out state that ladies do not agent, madam. It's infuriating to read, yet Johanna's defiance, her unwavering belief in Vincent's genius, leads her to boldly declare, I shall represent Vincent myself. Molnar shows us this wasn't just a statement, it was a profound act of self-determination.
You just want to cheer for her. And she undertakes these groundbreaking efforts. Molnar vividly portrays her journey from securing a very reluctant recommendation from Holst.
He did not want to help.
No. To literally invading the office of Don de Jong at Artie at Amicitia to secure an exhibit. She doesn't just ask, she marches in and locks the door. It's just a testament to her tenacity.
It really is, and her efforts pay off in spades. The success of Vincent's first exhibit in The Hague is a huge triumph. Even former critics, once so dismissive, now praise him.
Vindication.
Totally. It's the ultimate fulfillment of her purpose, setting the stage for Vincent van Gogh to become this celebrated genius. Molnar even has Johanna predict a museum dedicated solely to his work, which of course becomes the Van Gogh Museum in Amsterdam eventually. It's such a powerful narrative arc showing the profound impact one determined individual can have on history.
Truly extraordinary. And when you look at these two women, Johanna and Emsley, their threads of fate are so intertwined, aren't they? Despite the century that separates them, it's not just a shared surname, it's a shared spirit.
Absolutely. The parallels are so explicit. Both navigate immense loss, fight against societal expectations, protect precious legacies, and find this immense strength and purpose in adversity.
Yeah. Emsley loses Violet, her business is on the brink.
Just as Johanna loses Vincent and Theo and is left without funds. But I think the novel's most compelling insight isn't merely that women possess strength, but that this strength often flourishes in the secret life. You know, the unseen labors, the quiet defiance, the inherited spirit passed down through generations. It proves that the most profound impacts are often forged outside the spotlight.
That's a great point. And it makes you really appreciate Molnar's painstaking research to uncover Johanna's largely unknown story. It highlights the immense effort required to bring figures like her to light.
Definitely.
It's truly fascinating that Johanna's diaries only became public after Molnar had finished writing the book, which means she had to piece together Johanna's life from, like, scattered tidbits and letters.
Imagine that challenge.
Right. That truly underscores how history so often forgets the contributions of women, and how this book beautifully rectifies that, offering this rich narrative of perseverance and love.
It's a powerful reminder, really, of how much of our collective history might still be obscured simply because the stories haven't yet been told, or maybe because their tellers were dismissed as, well, inconsequential.
It certainly makes you wonder, doesn't it, about all the other incredible contributions just waiting to be unearthed.
It truly does. It makes you think.
And that brings us to the end of our exploration of the secret life of sunflowers. What an unforgettable journey through the lives of these two incredible women, Johanna and Emsley, connected across time by art, family, and just an indomitable spirit.
It was fantastic. So if you enjoyed this episode of Cliffhangers and Page Turners, please make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. It really helps support what we do.
Yes, please do. We love hearing from you and seeing our book club grow.
Absolutely.
Join us next week for episode 18, where we'll be discussing The Bear and the Nightingale by Katherine Arden. Ooh, that's going to be a good one.
Oh, looking forward to that.
You won't want to miss it.